Hello bet gainers out there, welcome back to our channel, to Gains World. It's not a rapes world anymore, it's not a pains world, it's somewhat of a gains world. Let's have a look at the TA tonight with some short TA, very short TA. I have to make a quick one because of workload. I'm still not done with my work yet tonight, but I'm waiting for an important email, and this could last somewhat longer tonight, so I didn't want to have you waited another time. Long time no see, so I thought to switch my schedule tonight and first do our TA on this Thursday, a short one, and then continue with my work here. So we mainly will have a look at Bitcoin, what we saw during the last few days since the last stream, so more or less the last week, and we will have an outlook, a possible outlook on Bitcoin, or what we need to see by the weekend. And then after that I will see if I will still have some time to cover the major altcoins, so Ethereum, Cardano, and for all of you who are missing the live stream, or at the moment you're watching this one as VOD who missed the live stream, greetings to all of you out there. Sorry for the time schedule switch tonight, but yeah, the VOD is still there, you can get your informations, and I think that during the weekend I will finally be able to launch the YouTube channel for the VOD. So let's hope for the best, and let's start with the TA with Bitcoin. So we all saw this second drop on May 23rd, which was Monday, Wednesday 26th, Tuesday 25th, on Sunday, right, 23rd. Well, on May 23rd we had this second drop of Bitcoin down to 31,150 roundabout, after having had this drop to 30,000. And yeah, this was more or less some kind of a double bottom. And then since then Bitcoin had a nice recovery. In total this was already a recovery of, let's see, yeah, it's getting colorful now, 36% since the drop. And yes, let's leave this because we have lots of patterns here. So since the drop, it was not the major drop since the all-time high, which was here, but since the last drop we formed a bull flag, a descending trend channel, which it held pretty accurately. You see within this channel, the bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, another bottom here, and then it broke out of this channel. And since then we had another, I think on the daily chart. Ray Deluxe, thank you for your sub, man, thank you. Yeah, on the daily chart we have the same one, and we saw this confirmation of the bull flag so far, and it was able to hold this this movement outside of the trend channel so far, which is a good sign. It also formed somewhat of a head and shoulders. Let's just hide this one. It also formed some kind of head and shoulders pattern, which is clear on the 4 hour, but which is more obvious on the hourly chart, We had the wick here, we had the bottom here, and we had half of the shoulder here. So I'm not 100% sure if this is a valid head and shoulders formation pattern, but we had this neckline here. It broke out, it tested and confirmed the neckline. We had a short break through the neckline to the downside, but it then went up again and is currently retesting and reconfirming this neckline. And if this head and shoulders pattern is a valid one, this would have a price target at around $45,700, which is an important number. Remember this number, 45,700. And at the same time, and there we take back the other one. 1 second here. We also see some kind of a symmetrical. It's not an ascending triangle, it's a symmetrical triangle because the upper line goes somewhat down. We don't have one. Well, no, I'm not sure, to be honest. Because if we take this line, we could take the major support resistance line at 41,100 as a neckline, and then we would have an ascending triangle. I took the wick here, so it's more a symmetrical triangle, but let me just think of it. I'm just seeing this here. Anyway, we have an ascending trend line at the bottom with the bodies and the wicks here, the bodies here, and either way, taking this as a neckline, or I took this orange trend line, which you see here, forming since long way ago, since here, March 14th. It had been resistance here, then it had been support back again here and here. Then we didn't touch it for quite some time, that it had been support again here. We broke through, had it as resistance, and currently are having this trend line, this orange trend line. It's part of a trend channel. You see the dotted line are also parts of this trend channel here, but at the moment we are holding this trend line. Let's take another color. Let's take a white one. No, not the channel. 1 second. Middle. White. Yes, let's take the white one. So this white line here as resistance so far. And either way, we take this as an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle. Yeah, it somewhat changes the price target, but not by a huge range. So let's try this one. So we had 1, 2, 3 bottoms so far, 2.5 bottoms so far within this triangle, and if it's able to break out, and you know, ascending triangle tend to break out to the upside, can break out to the downside. Symmetrical triangle have a 50-50 chance to break out either to the upside or to the downside. We had somewhat of a more bullish symmetrical triangle if we took the white trend line as a neckline. So yeah, to be optimistic, I would say that the trend is more to the upside than the downside, but to the upside we would have a price target at 54,600, and to the downside we would be at around $25,000. And you see we have time until May 29th, so Saturday morning, Central European time, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. to break out of here. Yeah, and this would be a pretty decent move, either to the upside or the downside, but we had this head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish sign. which could lead Bitcoin to go up to at least 45,700, and then this ascending triangle, which could continue heading up to around 54,600. To the downside, of course, is possible to reach down to around 25, which would be the extended mid line of this bull flag round about here. So this is also still in the cards for Bitcoin. We need to wait for this. And as I said before, this price target here is a very important one, 45,700, because having a look at the growth band and the weekly candles, you remember that I said compared to 2013, let's have a quick look back to 2013. We had the P cycle top here, then Bitcoin went down. We had the last candle holding this this yellow line and the bull market support line, the green thin line here, as support, followed by a second red candle breaking through those two bands, wicking almost to the first white fib band here, and then followed by the next green weekly candle, which then we need to zoom in. You see it closed above this green bull market support band within this red area here, because as you see, the following candles were were following this fib line here as resistance, but with a steady upward movement, not very much to the upside, no rallies, but a steady movement to the upside. And then after 5-6 weeks, we had another short rally, another sideways movement, and then the last leg of this second cycle. Let's compare to the current one. We had the last candle, which also was red, holding the bull market support band. We had the first candle red, which broke below, going close to the first white fib line here. Last candle, first candle broken below, going to the first white fib line. Next one going up again above the green bull market support band, which would be the crossing of the 0.5 fib line here by the time. And you see the value here at the moment, 44,700. Price target of this head and shoulders, 45,700. So if Bitcoin is able to close this week, so in around 3 days and 6 hours, is able to close above 44,793, or let's say 44,800, 44,900, best case 45,000, then we would see the same pattern repeating than 2013, and in my opinion this would still be a bullish sign. We see that the fib lines are not matching, because here it holds the second white, or the first white fib line below the 0.5 fib line as resistance. In this case we would hold the 0.5 fib line as resistance if this bull market support band would follow this line, but the sequence of the candles would be exactly after the P cycle top. The only difference is that we saw a major peak here and breaking down, and from this peak here to this peak here we saw a 76% drop, but from the candle close here to this week this was only a 60%, which is comparable to the current one from this top to this top here. This is really the only difference. but we also had a steep rally up front to this correction today, and the same steep rally up front the correction back in 2013. So if this candle closes above $45,000, in my opinion, we are still good, or we are perfectly tracking the schedule back from 2013. If we would close below 45,000, then we could be in major troubles, because having a look at the past, when Bitcoin closed the second candle below the bull market support band, we had one here, the first, but the second one above, but here it broke back below and closed below, and this was the confirmation of the bear market back in 2018. We had the same one back in 2014. So the second candle below the bull market support band, well, in this case it went above again, but here the second one was the beginning of the bear market. So we could see some kind of a dead cat bounce after having a second candle below the bull market support band, but we would need to be very careful to not get into a bear market. Same thing here, we went below. No, it's not the same thing here. We didn't close one candle below. This candle was above, and this one as well. We only saw the switch below. We are in a very tricky situation at the moment, to be honest. And getting back to one question in the Discord channel so far, we could also very well see a premiere, in this case, something completely new, where Bitcoin might close below the bull market support band, but continue going sideways or following this fib band and then heading up at a later point. So nothing is guaranteed. I'm only following the historical patterns, but we could see something totally new, where Bitcoin closes several weekly candles below the bull market support band, which of course would go down as well by the time. So at one crossing point around here, we would see Bitcoin eventually close above the bull market support band, before then heading up, possible. But this could also be the beginning of a bear market, which of a full-size bear market, which would also be a premiere, because we never had a full-size bear market beginning after first a cycle top without a top, because you see it's more like a consolidation phase, a curve at the peak and not a peak. In the history, we always had peaks, really peaks up, forming the cycle top here and here, even this local top with a peak, and this time it's more like a curve on the top, and it would be the very first cycle top within the growth band. Every other cycle top went up to the red growth band area here and here, and back in 2011, and this would be the very first cycle top within the growth band, between the green and the red lines. So we would have several premieres here, and this is the reason why I'm still bullish, because I first need to see this play out as a premiere in order to believe in it. So far we are only repeating another cycle which already had been there. I know we don't have much data points to compare as a reference, but we have at least one, and we had none so far showing a cycle top within the growth band, and we had 3 or 4 different cycle tops so far. So still not a huge big data base, but at least more than no data at all. So far, in my opinion, it's still looking bullish. And yeah, even if Bitcoin is able to close above 45, I would still be bullish, of course, but it's not guaranteed that Bitcoin will rally after this. We could also see a beginning of a bear market, even if Bitcoin is able to close above. Nothing is guaranteed, everything is wrong. So we could still see a premiere, as we saw here with this consolidation phase. So don't mark my words in this case. I personally will keep being bullish unless Bitcoin is not able to close above the point above this bull market support band, which will cross the 0.5 fib line here on Sunday evening. So 3 days and 5 hours to go. We might see a nice green weekend, which would pump Bitcoin above this level. And if Bitcoin is able to hold this level, which would be around 45, would be around no man's land more or less here, right below this trend channel line, which is at 46, and the support and fib line 46,500, 46,800 would be above it. We will also see the 200 EMA crossing in this area, so this would be a quadruple resistance zone within the golden pocket. But as long as Bitcoin is able to close above this support line here and right below this trend line here, I think we would be all fine. But we still have some time to see this playing out. We see that the trend is still clear. We had the bottom here. No, we had the 4-hour charts. Yes, we had the bottom. The major bottom here at 30,000, and since then we had higher lows and starting here, higher highs. So lowest high here, a higher high here, and another higher high here. Lowest low, higher low, and a higher low. So the trend is clear. Yeah, of course it's not a pleasant one to see Bitcoin tumbling down in this area after having seen Bitcoin reaching $64,000, but yeah, it's recovering slowly, and at the moment on the 4-hour charts it is able to hold the 21 EMA since for 3 days now as support, which is, in my opinion, an important one, and at the moment struggling with the 50 EMA here. So let's switch this out. Holding the bull market support bands and the 20 EMA as support so far on the 4-hour charts. And if Bitcoin is able to have a small pump and maybe testing the 100 EMA, we might see the 20 EMA being dragged up, and we might then see a bullish cross on the 4-hour chart, which would be pretty powerful and which could be the last boost or provide the last boost for Bitcoin to get above this 100 EMA here, and then eventually get up to this 45,000 level, or even to the 200 EMA. Maybe we would see a major pump for Bitcoin. From now it would be almost 20%, which is massive for Bitcoin. But I'm still pretty bullish on the daily charts. Yeah, we will see a bearish cross here, the 50 crossing the 100, which which could lead to the other side, to the downside. We will see, or we might see, a bearish cross with a 20 crossing the 200 soon. If Bitcoin is able to get this pump and get above the 200 EMA again, which is a major support level on the daily chart. So if Bitcoin gets this pump, which is only a 10% pump, to get above the 200 daily EMA and hold it as support, then of course it would avoid and prevent the 20 daily EMA to cross below. It would prevent this bearish cross on the daily chart, and this could be the platform to then get above the 45,000 level, which would be more or less the red bull market support band. So on the daily chart we need to get above this red bull market support band. Yes, so let's have a look at the chat. Of course, I welcome all of you. I'm Swoosh, Charmsnare. I think all of the old veteran but gainers out there: Raps, Shona, Nanabeak, Matt Floor, yeah, Switzerland, France, Germany, the UK, Johannes de Vries, hi. Oh, Madfly has a lag on the stream, okay. Captain Pringles, what would you do with the cryptos if we close below? Yes, I know, I think we covered this on Discord many times. I will simply hold it. It's already too late to get out. And after this drop of more or less 55% for Bitcoin, Bitcoin wouldn't go that much further down. It could go maybe to $20,000, but we would soon reach a bottom at for this short-term bear market, and I would simply sit it out because my positions would still be in green even if we would go down to 20,000 again, because I opened all of my positions, especially Bitcoin, within the 4 digits area, and also most of my altcoin positions wouldn't be reached in any case, so I would still be in green. I would simply sit it out because after such a short bear run, we also would see a short after such a short bull run, sorry, we would also see, if this would be the beginning of a bear market, it would be as short as the bull run before. So we might see the bottom of this bear market within the next month, maybe even this year, before having the next leg of of a new bull run, or of a prolonged, extended bull run. I don't know. We could let me just check one thing. Let me check one thing. I want to try one thing on the logarithmic charts. If we would see some kind of a repetition of this one, where we had a short-term bull run, a drop, a short-term bear run, if we would repeat this area here instead of the 2013 area, let me just check this. So let's take this one and go up to this point here. So this could pretty much be, I have a lot of patterns on the in the background, but you see this pattern. If we take the drop, you see it is, yeah, it is pretty similar. Let's go this. Let's find a crossing point. So if we would repeat the part here, 2020, it could look something like this one, where we would see a continuation of this one back to the 64,000 levels, holding it until September, October, and then pumping up by the beginning of next year. I wouldn't say that we would reach $270,000-300,000, but I wanted to show you which pattern, which price movement we could see for Bitcoin. So we can compare several points, but Captain Pringles, to answer your question, I wouldn't do anything. I would simply hold my positions. Of course, I would need to adapt my plans, my plans for withdrawing the coins and closing the positions, because of course, if this would be the beginning of a bear run, this would extend the cycle top into 2022, maybe even 2023. So I would need to adapt my personal goals, but I simply would hold, because you see the potential. And as I just said before, even if it is not able to close above above the bull market support band, which would be a premiere. We also saw a premiere with this consolidation phase. This was the very first time in the history of Bitcoin where we had a cycle top with the consolidation phase. So we could see Bitcoin holding below the bull market support band for some weeks, trending somewhat upwards here, following the fib lines, and then pumping up. So this could be a premiere, and I wouldn't want to sell my coins after a halving of my profits, and then only to be sure to get somewhat out of my profits, and then seeing Bitcoin rallying again into the second leg of this cycle after 2-3 weeks, or maybe 2 or 3 months. So I would simply hold and let me be surprised by the following price action, because this all would be something new, which we never saw with Bitcoin. So yeah, let's go for it. I'm holding anyway, so I can wait another 6 months or 12 months or 18 months. I can adapt my goals. As I said before, it's the best to only invest money you're not relying on, you're not depending on, and you can already deem to be lost. So you can only follow and observe the price action without any emotions, and even sit out and leave such a drop and maybe a bear market as is, and simply wait for the beginning of the next bull run. So I can afford this. Of course, it would be, yeah, it has its positive and its positive side and its downside. The downside would be I would need to wait somewhat more to get my profits out of the market, but the positive side would be that I would have those profits tax-free, for example, because I would need at least to wait at least until the end of July and for the latest investments until January next year. And so if the bull cycle would be extended into 2022, I would even have the smaller positions tax free. So this would be a very positive aspect of this extended bull run. So I would at the end I would still be happy. I know it will be frightening, and I remember you saying on Discord that this wouldn't be nice to follow, which will be right. But at the end, we will still be happy to see this. What about daily stochastic RSI? Yes, let's have a look. Stochastic is still having some momentum. We know that it can last for some days on the upside, so this could be the most important momentum we need to get Bitcoin up to this 45,000 level, because as soon as Bitcoin closed above this bull market support band, this would be the first confirmation. Because if we have a look at 2013, we saw it close above and then it went into consolidation phase for 5 weeks. So if Bitcoin is to repeat this, to take the last momentum to get up here, and if we take back our lines, we see on the daily RSI we still have some room to get back to this trend line, which is forming since January. We still have some room to get up to this 48 level. So this could be the pump we need to get above 45,000, maybe even 47, to get Bitcoin above the bull market support band, and then it can switch into consolidation mode, which then would also cool down the RSIs, and we would see a cool down of the stochastic, and eventually this would then be enough to get the RSI above this trend line, to break this trend line, to break this trend, and yes, to initiate the second leg of this cycle. So this candle, the current candle, is the most important in my opinion. Yeah, compared to this one, this would be right below the yellow EMA here. Today we would have some room between the bull market support band and the yellow line. Yeah, but it is not called bull market support band for no reason. There is a reason why these bands are called like this. So and it's the 0.5 fib line. So if Bitcoin is able to close above, this would be a major signal, as we had here, for example. We then went back again, but finally eventually head back up again. So this, in my opinion, is the most important signal we might have in the near future, in the very near future, within the next 3 days and 5 hours. So let's hope for a green weekend. Let's hope for that Bitcoin is able to take profit out of this last momentum it has on the daily chart. Let's have a look. The weekly chart is still on the bottom, at the bottom. So since February, this is almost at the bottom. And on the 4-hour charts, we also still have some room. So the next few days, this weekend, will be the decisive one. We see on the 4-hour charts. Yes. No, we cannot take the 4-hour charts for this trend line, because you see on the daily chart it's following the tops, but on the 4-hour charts there is no structure here. I would need to adapt this one, and then we still would be below the trend line if I would take it to the tops here. So top here, resistance, 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 we would still be below. So this makes no sense on the 4-hour chart. But yeah, everything is showing that we need to wait for the weekend. And let's have a look at the other NVT chart. The NVT switched from red into white, which is a bearish sign, and we saw after this, for those who are following Steve videos, he explained this in one of his recent videos. Every time that Bitcoin switched from red into white, we saw a somewhat of 50% drop for Bitcoin, and this was the case again this time. It switched from red into white, and we saw a decline of 49.52% for Bitcoin. So what we need to see is a switch back from white to red, because we only are interested in the switches. It doesn't matter if it stays white or if it stays red. We need the switches from red to white, or in this case from white to red, which would be a very bullish sign. So unfortunately, these are also the weekly chart, the weekly candles. So if we would see a switch by the end of this week, this wouldn't be of any importance for the close of this weekly candle. But for the aftermath, because if we would see the switch to red with the close of this candle, even in my opinion, even if the candle would close below the 45,000, if we would see the red switch here, this would be a very bullish sign, and we might see Bitcoin heading up, even being below this bull market support band. So yeah, this would be very, very bullish. And also the RSI on the weekly chart, let's just check the levels. So 2013 we had the top, we went down to this area here and went back up retesting. So we are more or less, no, we are just testing this support level we had back here as resistance now. It's exactly at the same point where we saw it as support. We dropped below and currently are holding this as resistance, 48 on the weekly RSI chart. So we need to break above, and then we might see a similar rally to this one back in 2013-14 then, to retest this level here. Yeah, so I can show you a lot of signals and charts and indicators, but every one of those, every single indicator is showing that we need to wait for the end of this week and to wait for the price level which Bitcoin will be able to reach by the end of this week. So cheers, guys. Hi Supergirl, hi Kazima, welcome. Guys, welcome. Guys and girls, of course. Glad to see you. Connection is crap, but not for me, I'm sorry, but here I don't have any error messages. My stream is okay, my bitrate is okay, so it might be on your side. Johannes. Die Birne. Denkst du, die Alts könnten sich nächstes Jahr von Bitcoin leitfaden? Na. Keine Chance. Die Birne asked if altcoins could be able to deconnect from Bitcoin. No chance to see this cycle. It could be the opposite. We could see the end of the altcoin season and we could see Bitcoin regaining some dominance as it did since the drop. Regaining dominance. this doesn't mean that that the altcoins would drop or wouldn't do anything. They would follow Bitcoin, but Bitcoin would regain dominance. But we wouldn't see any disconnecting from of altcoins from Bitcoin. Not this cycle, and I wouldn't say not even next cycle. We might see one or the other coin, maybe Cardano or Ethereum, kind of disconnect from Bitcoin, but I would say the overall cycle would still be led by Bitcoin. As I am the 100% Ethereum guy, what you said about Bitcoin, same for Ethereum, because at the moment still all odds rise and fall together with proper Bitcoin or something interesting. There is one difference. Yes, you're right. Altcoins are still following Bitcoin, but most, or not even most, and maybe even all altcoins were able to hold the 200 daily EMA, or to get back above the 200 daily EMA. So Chainlink, Cardano even didn't break through it. The lowest point hold the 200 daily EMA. XRP hold it as support with the bodies. XLM went back above, slightly went below. Let's switch to Ethereum. So daily charts, Uniswap went back above the 200. IOTA just broke below it, but was able to get above it again. It is currently struggling with this trend channel here. So this was exactly the top of this trend channel. VeChain didn't break below, hold it as support. Ethereum held it as support and is retesting the 20. So Ethereum is very, very strong compared to Bitcoin. Ethereum is currently, no, it broke below the 50 again here, but it retested the 20 daily EMA. Bitcoin is way below this. On the daily chart, Bitcoin is currently having struggles to get back above the 200. Let's here. So still the 20 is still going down, Bitcoin being below the 200 for 1 week now, while Ethereum is retesting the 20 and trying to get back above the 20. No bearish cross so far. Bitcoin will have the first, second, third one tomorrow, maybe the fourth one during the weekend. So everything's fine. Binance Coin, same thing. So all major altcoins were able to hold the 200 daily EMA as support, or at least get back above it. Binance Coin currently struggling and fighting the 100 daily EMA. We had a bearish cross here, which pulled it down to this wick. It went even below with the second drop. This was the first drop. The second drop went even down to $210. Now it's back again at around 400, so a 100%. 85%. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, I think, had a similar one. Yes, the second drop went lower. 70% for Ethereum so far. So every altcoin is doing way better than Bitcoin so far. We see Bitcoin gaining back some dominance, but altcoins are still in a better position than Bitcoin. Unfortunately, as they are connected to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins will follow. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything to this. So I'm asking myself what I should do about my altcoins. I began investing when Bitcoin was at 34 end of January. Do I have to be strong or stop shitting in my pants? And stop shitting in my pants. To say it in German, lass die Eier wachsen. No, it's up to you, Captain Pringles. If you really need the money, then you need to figure out your own strategy and to maybe take out what you made, what profits you made off so far. But if you're not depending on this money, simply hold it. Close your app, put it aside for the next 2 to 3 months, and keep calm, because it makes no sense to be stressed if you're able to hold the coins and to sit out a bear market or a short-term bear market. If you can afford to if you can afford to hold the coins, then simply chill, calm down. Even if we go down, if you're able to hold it, then simply sit it out. And if you're not able to handle the stress, then put away your smartphone or your close your desktop app or whatever you use to follow the charts. You need to figure this out for yourself. As I did last Sunday when we had this drop. I closed everything. I didn't do a stream due to this reason. I didn't want to see anything because it didn't make any sense to do a TA anyway, because everything was based on emotions. So a TA technical analysis makes no sense makes no sense if the market is based on such emotions as it was last Sunday here. So we were able to follow the price going down, but there was no rational fundamentals and reasons to base a TA on. So yeah, this is why we didn't have a stream on Sunday, because I closed everything and I had my first look back on the charts on Monday when we had survived or finished and closed this drop here, and Bitcoin went back up to this region here. So it was better to have another look, because you know my numbers, my 6-digit profit loss within the last 7 days. It was not a pleasant sight, to be honest, but I'm still bullish. And every bear market will have an end. So even if we or I would have to wait another year or 1.5 years, at the end the coins would be worth more than after a possible super cycle, which would have ended within the next 4 weeks. So at the end we would see a Bitcoin at around $250, maybe $300,000 instead of $120,000. So my coins, which I bought at $7,000 Bitcoin, or a $15 Cardano, or $112 Ethereum, would be a 5 digits percentage. So of course it would, the journey to this point wouldn't be nice, but the result, the outcome of this journey would be massive. So I would simply close everything. I would provide my insights to the charts for you, but yeah, I wouldn't mind, simply put. And what do you think about the week of accumulation? To be honest, I don't know what I should think of it. It might be a legit theory. I had a short look at the Wikipedia and the description of this wick of theory, but in my opinion, this more applies to the stock market. I'm not sure what to think about to think of it, to be honest. It's also a new theory for me. I never heard of it before. As you know, I'm only a hobby trader, not a professional trader, so I cannot know every single pattern out there. I don't know if it's a legit one, and if it plays out to be a wick of theory pattern, then we would go down further. But as I said, I would simply sit it out. Period. Lumina, my ad time. Yes, I know it's ad time, but I wanted to do a short TA anyway because I still have work to do. So yeah, we covered Bitcoin so far. We covered the patterns which are playing out. We covered what we need to see on Sunday. Yes, I will try to do the regular Sunday stream and to follow the candle close, which would be 2 a.m. German time. But yeah, I will try to have this stream. Captain Pringles, I'm not sure of this because what I saw so far, we would need to see another drop down to around $25,000 to $27,000 to complete this wick of theory. As far as what I saw, yeah, I don't know. Supergirl. 1 second, I need to check your messages. My French side. Okay. Let's just have a look. Yeah, you see it's holding the 20 EMA, still holding the 20 EMA even with this candle here, holding the 20 EMA, which is a good sign. So this could be the platform to bounce off and maybe finally retest this 100 EMA as next milestone. By the end of the week, we need to be close to the 200 EMA at this line here, this grid line here. So we need this bounce. We need this bounce. We only have three days and some hours left. Lumina, I didn't cover all the altcoins in details, and I won't cover them tonight. I'm sorry, but I don't have the time. Still have some work to do, so I only wanted to cover Bitcoin because, as you know, if Bitcoin is going down, then Ethereum will follow, so it makes no sense to cover the other coins in detail. I showed that all the other altcoins were able to hold the 200 daily EMA as support, unlike Bitcoin, which is a good sign. So all of the other coins, especially Ethereum, are doing very good against Bitcoin so far. So we are still in altcoin season, in my opinion, even with Bitcoin gaining back some dominance, but we are still in altcoin season. But for the overall picture, we need to wait for the end of this week. So guys, I hope I was able to provide some more insight, because I saw a lot of weird theories and Yeah, weird theories which led to FUD on the Discord channel. So this is why I chose to do this stream, even if I had some work to do, simply to get you back to the ground and to calm down your nerves, because everything's still possible. And even if even after the close of this week, of course, this would be a major signal, but even after this close, either above the bull market support band or below, nothing is guaranteed. Even if Bitcoin is not able to reach 45,000 by the weekend, this wouldn't mean that we are heading down. This would be a very bullish signal if we were able to close above. But yeah, I still, as I just said, I would hold anyway. So for me personally, there is no reason to panic. For all of you who are panicking and who are fearing a possible bear market and who are not able to hold or cannot afford to hold a coin into red, then you should figure out your own strategy to take your profits out if you still have some profits. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend to close your positions at all, because it's already too late. You're in red, so it makes no sense to close your positions unless you have some 5 digits numbers invested and you are able to take out some 4 digits out of it, which you are depending on. So unless this is the case, simply leave it and hold it and sit it out. Simply put, it makes no sense to close a position in red and to take the losses if you're able and if you can afford to simply hold the position. I know it's stressful. I already went through an entire bear market back in 2018. I know how stressful this can be, but as I said, even if this is the beginning of a bear market, we already had a 53% drop. During the entire last bear market, Bitcoin dropped by 76% during the entire market. So there are only some 20% left from this point. So let's check this. Another 20% would be, another 20% would go down to 24. So what is 20%? What is a $25,000, $24,000? Even if it would go down to $20,000 and complete the bear market after this drop from 64 to 30,000, we should be used to such small drops anyway, so simply sit it out. And if you're not able to handle this stress, then close your app and sit it out. But don't sell in loss. This makes no sense at all. No sense. But nothing happened so far yet. It's still bullish. Bitcoin still has time to recover. The trend is clear. This is not only a dead cat bounce. This is a nice, slow, steady recovery. We had a nice, almost double bottom here. So let's wait for it. Simply put. Captain Pringles, the ascending triangle on the 4-hour. So I took, let me just check this, if there is a wick. No. Yes, I took this. I took the 41,100 as neckline and then draw the ascending line, trend line with these bottoms here, this bottom here, and at this point here. Of course, you could go further back and draw the trend line here, but this would make no sense. You simply would extend the price target line without any fundamentals, because there is nothing here. So we might even... No, this was the first candle, or we could take it to here. This would be the same one, the first candle reaching this trend line here. So in any case, we would see the end of this triangle by Saturday morning, Central European time. And now we are seeing the third 2.5 bottom right now. So we might see a breakout, yes, to the upside or to the downside. This could, if it breaks through, if it breaks down, this could be the outbreak to the downside. If it holds this line here, which is a 1, 2, 3, a triple support level, we could see a bounce and then a breakout here, which then could lead up to this to the wanted price target here, because we also have the head and shoulders. It is still holding and confirming the neckline, and the price target of this head and shoulders would be these 45,700, which we need to close above the bull market support band. So we had the first confirmation here, we have the second confirmation right now, so let's hope to be a true one now, and not like back before the drop, where we also had a head and shoulders here, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then it broke below, which is also possible. A head and shoulders, an inverse head and shoulders, is not a 100% bullish pattern. It can break out to the downside. Let's check this. A downside target. No, clone. A downside target would be again retesting this support at 30,800 would be the head of the head and shoulders, of course. So it would repeat this drop of the head. So let's hope to see this playing out as it should to the outside, and everything will be fine, in my opinion. Radelix, last question. Is it good time to buy next time? Is it good time to buy next time? I don't get it. I would say now is a good time to buy anyway, because if Bitcoin would break out here, then this would be the lowest accumulation phase you could have seen during the entire bull run. It wouldn't go lower than this. And if Bitcoin is going down to a possible bottom at 20,000 maybe, then this would only be a 30% drop. So you would be 30% in red, reaching a possible bear market bottom, 30-40%. So of course now is a good time to buy, especially now, because if we see Bitcoin breaking out of this to the upside, then this, yes, was one of the lowest points you could have bought back in during this cycle. So of course it's a good time to invest. Of course it could go down, but as I just said, compared to the last bear market where Bitcoin dropped 76%, a 76% drop, let's take it from the top. Yeah, it would go below 20k, 70%. Somewhat below 20k, but as I just said, what is another $10,000 after such a drop. But I don't see this right now. I don't see this because this would be a premiere in so many ways. To see a full cycle bear run now, I do not believe in it yet. So I won't spread any FUD now. I wouldn't spread any FUD anyway, but there is no reason to panic right now. Why didn't you draw a double triangle? Double triangle. Oh, 1 second, Discord. Symmetrical triangle, I had it before. I had it before, a symmetrical triangle, but not like you draw, but I took the white trend line, so you could also do it like this and this. Yeah, so you would simply follow this white trend line here, having the peaks here, the top here, and another peak here, and this ascending trend line. So this would be a symmetrical triangle with a slight upward trend so far. But you could also take the neckline here, the 41 as neckline, because of these here and this here. So yeah, it's not clear so far. We don't have any textbook pattern so far. Same thing as for the head and shoulders. We had the head here, the shoulder here, the shoulder here, the head here, but this shoulder didn't go down to the level where it should go, round about this here. So we only had the drop to half of this shoulder, and then we had the confirmation. So even this head and shoulder is not a textbook one, but it could be a legit one. Same thing as for this symmetrical triangle or an ascending triangle. We will see at the end. So guys, already more than 1 hour streaming. I will end the stream here. Sorry for this. I have a lot of work to do still today. I think I will work for the next 3 hours still. So I will end the stream here. I wish you a good evening, a good rest of the evening, a good rest of the day wherever you are, Supergirl and Jozu in the US. I will do my best, my very best, to be there on Sunday to follow the candle close live. Maybe I will start the stream somewhat later than usual, maybe by 11 p.m. But we will try to see this candle close live, so it would be 2 a.m. in Germany. Jeff, Dutch, Netherlands, hi and welcome to the channel. So yes, for today, I think I covered all the questions which rose during the last week on Discord. So I hope to not see any FUD messages so far until Sunday on Discord. Yeah, I wish you all the best. I wish us hopefully green weekend, so we can see Bitcoin reaching up to this $45,000 level, which we need to see. And yes, until then, stay safe, stay healthy as usual. Keep calm, don't panic sell in any case, unless you depend on the money. And yeah, be active as you want on Discord. This is where the channel is for, and have fun. See you on Sunday, guys, and thank you for supporting and watching. And for all of the new followers and the recent followers, if you want to join our follower-only Discord channel, simply hit me in the chat. I will have a look at it later on Twitch, and I will send you the invite link to Discord on Twitch as well. So it might take some time today, maybe tomorrow, but I will send you the link, Jeff, for you, for example, and for all of the others who didn't join our Discord channel. Hit me in the chat. I will get back to you as soon as possible. So, enough for tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. For those who joined later today, simply hit the video on demand afterwards, and see you on Sunday. Bye bye.
But the guy, man, just killed it to learn. It's like, thank you, man, thank you so much. TRX to the moon. It was like, dude, sell it, take the money, buy the house, have the kid, go on honeymoon. This is not going to be financial freedom if you keep it. Celoblam says ZRX is on the value still, it's so overlooked. Yes and no. ZRX has a small problem of not being a very profitable protocol. Again, I'm no developer, I'm just reading around things, and this is something I've read quite a lot. So it's not very, it doesn't give so much money as I don't know. ZRX does a lot of things. Yes, it creates those common order books that Serum has built in by default. So yeah, that was the story with that guy. So yeah, CDS, CFDs, guys, contracts of